Did you know your car has a secret life? Every single time you drive, it's telling a story about you. A story you probably don't even know is being written. It gets captured in a flash, and it's happening all around us, every single day.
And it all starts right here, with your license plate. It's telling secrets, and today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly what they are.
So picture this, you're just driving down the road, maybe heading to the grocery store, minding your own business, and bam, in less than a blink of an eye, your plate was just scanned. What even just happened?
What you just encountered was one of these. This is a license plate reader, or an LPR for short. It's kind of like the silent observer on our roads.
So what are they, really? Just think of them as super fast, really smart cameras that have one specific job, to automatically scan and record license plates. And they do it faster than you can even blink.
The whole process is incredibly quick, and it breaks down into 3 simple steps. First, the camera snaps a picture of your plate. Second, that info gets instantly checked against a whole bunch of law enforcement databases. We're talking watch lists for stolen cars, active warrants, things like that. And third, if there's a match or a hit, an alert gets sent right to the police. If not, you just keep on driving. The whole thing is over in less than a second. And let me tell you, these things are everywhere. Police have them mounted right on their patrol cars. State troopers use them all over the highways. You'll even find them on traffic lights and overpasses. They're pretty much a constant part of our daily travels, whether we notice them or not.
Okay, so the scan itself is instant. But what happens next? Where does that little snapshot of your journey actually end up? This is where it gets really, really important.
Every single scan, and I mean every one, whether it triggers an alert or not, is sent to a secure, private database that only law enforcement can access. It's not just floating around on the internet for anybody to find.
And that brings us to the big question, right? How long does that information, that little record of where your car was and when, just sit in that system? Does it live there forever?
The answer? 12 months.
That's it.
1 year.
That's right, here in Texas, there's a very strict rule. This data has an expiration date. After 12 months, it has to be deleted. Now, there is one major exception. If your plate data becomes part of an active criminal investigation, then it can be held on to for longer.
Look, a technology this powerful absolutely needs some powerful rules to go with it. So think of these as the legal guardrails that keep this whole thing on the right track. These rules create a really important difference in who gets to use this tech. Law enforcement agencies, they can use LPRs and get into that database for legitimate investigations. But private companies? Nope. They are legally forbidden from setting up their own surveillance networks to watch the public. State law restricts that access. Big time. And here's something crucial. An LPR alert is just a starting point. It's a tip. For an officer to actually make an arrest or search a car, that digital hit has to be confirmed with real, solid, probable cause. The machine never, ever gets the final say. So what happens if someone breaks these rules? If data is kept too long or used for the wrong reasons? Well, there are real consequences. An officer or even their entire agency can be held civilly liable. These rules definitely have teeth. Okay, so we've covered the tech, the data, and the rules. Now let's bring it all home and talk about why this is so important for you to know. Let's break it down. For police, this is a helpful tool, but it's one that comes with a very strict instruction manual. For you, the citizen, the key thing to remember is that your data isn't stored forever. It has an expiration date and legal protections. And for attorneys, this means that this kind of evidence isn't automatic. It can and should be challenged in court if the rules weren't followed correctly. Kind of makes you think, doesn't it? Every time you get in your car, a story is being logged. Now you know a little bit more about what that story looks like and who actually gets to read it.
So if you remember just one thing from all this, make it this. LPRs are legal tools for the police, but your data is not stored forever. It is protected by law, and it must be deleted after 12 months.
Knowing the story your license plate tells is all about protecting your data. But what if the public story that's really holding you back is an old criminal record? You have the power to take control of that narrative too.
If you're ready to take that step, we can help. Visit LegalGangsta.com to get your 10-step guide and learn how you can erase your Harris County criminal record. It's time to start writing your new chapter.